Imagine walking into any room and feeling an undeniable presence, a quiet strength that doesn't shout, doesn't demand, yet makes people pause and notice. What if I told you this presence has nothing to do with charisma, wealth, or even words? It's about silence. In a world obsessed with noise, opinions, and endless chatter, silence is power. But here's the hard truth. Most people fear silence. They rush to fill every pause, every gap, because they think silence makes them look weak. The Stoics knew better. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus understood that silence can disarm enemies, win respect, and give you the upper hand in life's toughest moments. Life often convinces us that the louder we are, the more people will listen. Social media, meetings, arguments, everywhere we look, it seems like the ones who talk the most hold the power. But if you pay close attention, you'll notice something different. The people who truly command respect aren't always the loudest. They are the ones who know when to remain silent. The Stoics understood this centuries ago. They saw silence not as weakness, but as discipline. Seneca warned that words reveal the quality of the mind, and Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily to speak only what was essential. Silence is not about avoidance, it's about control. It's about choosing not to waste your energy on noise, but to conserve it for what matters most. In this video, we'll explore 7 specific moments where silence is your greatest weapon. Master these, and you'll discover a new kind of influence, one that requires no shouting, no proving, just presence. Truth 1. The dichotomy of control. The Stoics began with a radical idea. Most of what you worry about isn't even yours to control. Opinions, gossip, events, the past, the future. None of these are in your power. What is in your control? Your choices, your actions, your judgments. Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." When you stop wasting energy on the external, you gain immense calm and clarity. The overthinking mind finds peace when it narrows its focus to what can actually be done in this moment. That is your true arena of strength. Truth 2. Cultivating virtue. Influence isn't about tricks or manipulation. It's about character. Marcus Aurelius didn't dominate Rome with empty words, but with integrity and wisdom. People are drawn to virtue because it's rare. Integrity creates trust. Justice builds respect. Wisdom brings authority. When you live with virtue, you don't need to demand attention. People give it freely. Your silence, your presence, your way of living speak louder than arguments. True Stoic strength comes from being so aligned with your values that others cannot ignore you. And the beauty is, this virtue isn't about others at all. It's about who you become. Truth 3. Objective judgments. Most of our suffering doesn't come from events themselves, but from the stories we tell about them. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When you learn to strip away bias, assumptions, and emotions, what remains is the truth of the situation. A harsh comment becomes just words. A failure becomes feedback. An obstacle becomes an opportunity. This clarity transforms not only how you see the world, but how you communicate within it. Instead of reacting, you respond. Instead of escalating conflict, you diffuse it. Objectivity is a superpower because it frees you from overthinking and lets you deal with reality as it is, not as your fears painted. Truth 4. The art of active listening. Most people listen only to reply, not to understand. The Stoics knew that silence can be more powerful than speech. When you truly listen, without interrupting, without judgment, you send a message, you matter, and people feel it. Seneca once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." Active listening builds trust faster than any clever argument. It disarms hostility, strengthens relationships, and earns respect. Influence isn't about dominating the conversation. It's about giving others the space to be heard. Ironically, the more you listen, the more people will want to listen to you. This is Stoic communication at its finest. Less noise, more connection. Truth 5. Embracing adversity. Life will test you, sometimes brutally. The Stoics never promised comfort. They promised strength. Epictetus, once a slave, said, "Difficulties show what men are." Adversity is not an interruption to your path. It is the path. Every challenge, every failure, every betrayal is training ground for your character. Think about it. Who do people trust more? The leader who has been tested and endured, or the one who collapses at the first sign of pressure? When you treat hardships as chances to sharpen your resilience, you inspire confidence. You stop asking, "Why me?" and instead say, "Try me." Adversity becomes fuel. By welcoming it, you prove not only to others but to yourself that you are stronger than circumstances. Truth 6. Memento mori. At first glance, remembering death sounds bleak, but the Stoics embraced memento mori, the reminder of mortality, not to depress themselves but to awaken urgency. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." When you realize life is finite, trivial worries lose their grip. Petty arguments, overthinking, grudges, they dissolve in the face of impermanence. Suddenly, what matters becomes clay, living with purpose, integrity, and presence. Knowing time is short pushes you to act now, to love fully, to focus on what is essential. And that clarity is magnetic. People feel drawn to someone who lives intentionally, not distracted by nonsense. Memento mori doesn't make life darker. It makes it brighter, sharper, more valuable. Truth 7. Living in accord with nature. The Stoics believed the highest form of wisdom was to live in harmony with nature. But this wasn't about forests and rivers. It was about aligning your life with universal reason, with the order of things. Marcus Aurelius said, "What brings no benefit to the hive brings none to the bee." In other words, when you live only for yourself, you cut yourself off from meaning. True influence comes not from manipulation or self-interest, but from contributing to the greater good. Every action you take, whether in your family, career, or community, ripples outward. When your choices reflect justice, integrity, and service, people naturally trust and follow you. You stop chasing approval and start embodying it. Living in accord with nature means stepping into your role as a contributor to something bigger than yourself, and that's where real power lies. Engagement call to action. Now that we've walked through these 7 Stoic truths, the question is, What will you do with them? These aren't dusty ideas locked away in ancient books. They're tools. Tools for influence, resilience, and peace of mind. Today, yes, August 28th, 2025, you can choose to start practicing them. Will you waste energy on what you can't control, or focus on your actions? Will you live passively, or embrace challenges as fuel? Will you rush through life as if you're immortal, or let mortality sharpen your purpose? The choice is yours, and it begins now. If this resonated with you, I invite you to join this journey of wisdom. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next timeless lesson. And tell me in the comments, which Stoic truth are you going to apply first? Your response might just inspire someone else reading. Remember, strength, influence, and peace aren't found in noise. They are built in silence, through action.